I guess I'm live. I actually have a question. What do streamers usually do? Like, do any of you guys actually watch live streamers? And if so, what do streamers do other than like game and like wear cat ears? Like, what do female streamers do? Is it all like weirdly sexual or with sexual undertones? Like, is I don't know. Give me some ideas for live streaming stuff because I actually enjoy sitting on my laptop and talking out loud because I my boyfriend has a real job, so he actually has to go into an office and I'm unemployed. I don't really do anything with my days. So I'm just curious if anyone has tips for what I can do with my days and one I can live stream. I don't know if people go on live stream. Um, and I don't want to do anything that's like subtly sex work. Anyway, um I am officially 235 days nicotine free. I was a horrendous chain smoker for probably like over a decade, and I'm a 235 days nicotine free. I know that's a weird benchmark, but every once in a while, I just forget how many days it's been, and I ask like ChatGPT or look at my calendar and see how many days it's been, and I'm like, oh, it's a round number. That's exciting. So that's one of these days. And also, I've recently quit drinking. I don't know if I'm forever going to be sober, so I'm not going to claim I'm forever sober, but I used to drink a lot. Like I was also a very heavy drinker. Basically, I was just a fucking degenerate partier for most of my life. I mean, in fact, my senior superlative in high school was life of the party because I was an alcoholic and a drug addict. I used to sell ecstasy to other high school students. I think we're past the statute of limitations on that, so that is why I'm willing to announce it on the internet. Um, but yeah, I used to drink a lot and smoke a lot, and I have basically just over time, obviously things like drugs, like doing a lot of ecstasy when I was in high school. First of all, I'm sure was not great for my formative years and my brain in general development. But well, that's probably my I'm fucking retarded actually. But yeah, so I realized at the time, like maybe doing ecstasy every weekend for a couple of months is frying my brain and making me really depressed. So since high school, I haven't touched ecstasy. Although I think I've probably had like sips of Molly water or something at parties. Anyway, but yeah, I have continued, however, to drink and for a long time continued to smoke. And I am now I've been 235 days nicotine free. I was not 235 days alcohol free, but within the past like month or two, I have maybe it's been more than a month or two. I've decided to not drink anymore. I don't know if that's gonna last forever, but I do think that drinking contributed a lot to like mental, I guess, fogginess and maybe depression. I think that the day after drinking, I get really depressed. Is that something anyone else experiences? I guess that's like anxiety or whatever. Oh, but before I get too far into this live stream, I did want to thank the sponsor of this video, um, my dear friend Louis Orini. His on Twitter is LOUISORIGNY. Louis has been a sponsor since the beginning of my channel because he purchases FTX claims, also Celsius claims. And I personally was a victim of Celsius, and I began covering Celsius and FTX. These are both crypto companies. I'm not talking about the energy drink. And he purchases claims. So essentially, if you lost money in either of these bankruptcies, he will buy your claim or your stub or whatever, so that if you're owed money from these companies, instead of waiting for years for payouts and uncertainty, he will pay you upfront in USDC, stablecoin, and you can get paid immediately if you don't want to wait years for eventual payouts. Here's a cute little ad. It's me, Tiff, and in case you've never heard of me before, I've been independently covering fraud and bankruptcies in the crypto space. Because of this, I know a lot of people who follow me or might recognize me were once customers of FTX. Well, that's where FTX Creditor comes in. FTX Creditor will buy your FTX bankruptcy claim and pay you immediately in USDC. FTX Creditor has actually bought more FTX claims than all of the other claims buyers combined. FTX Creditor even buys small claims as low as $1,800, all the way up to claims as large as charges $10 million. So if you're interested in selling your FTX claim for immediate liquidity or in selling your Voyager, BlockFi, or Celsius stub, you can go to ftxcreditor.com or contact them on Telegram at @ftxcreditor or on X at @ftxcreditor_com. I'm back. So if you have a claim or I think also claim bankruptcy. So if you happen to be involved in a bankruptcy and you don't want to wait for the long impending payouts and the uncertainty of dealing with being a creditor in a bankruptcy, then feel free to contact Louis Arini and he will buy your claim, most likely. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, so recently I've decided to stop drinking so much because I don't know if I'd ever consider myself an alcoholic. I do not enjoy drinking alone. I don't think I've ever gotten drunk alone. I've never just sat around and been like, I'd like a bottle of wine. I know a lot of people do that. Are you someone who like just gets home and like needs wine or whiskey or alcohol to unwind? I've never been like that. I've never enjoyed being drunk alone. Uh, I think that I probably drank because I think I've always had a little bit of social anxiety. When I was really young, no one gives a fuck about this, but when I was really little, I was like really shy, and I think I was really anxious in social settings. And then I think as I got older, I started to come out of my shell a little bit, and then I discovered alcohol in high school, and I was like, oh, I don't feel shy or nervous at all to talk to new people. So I think I probably developed an unhealthy over reliance on drinking when I'm in like awkward social settings, and then I would just get really drunk like every probably. I was gonna say every weekend, but I'm sure that there were periods of my life where I was drinking more than that. Like obviously in college, I was drinking like nearly night after college. I went backpacking for college. I was drinking almost every night. When I'm talking about these things, sometimes I'm just like, no one probably fucking actually cares about this, so I don't know why I'm saying this. But anyway, just to put it out there for anyone else who is quitting drinking or quitting nicotine, just trying to cheer you along because you can do it. If I can do it, someone who I think a part of my identity became how much I drank and partied and smoked and socialized and whatever. It became like a part of my being. If I was able to quit it cold turkey, mind you. I quit nicotine cold turkey. Uh, you can do it too. And I would love it if any of my posts helped anyone else quit smoking or drinking. Drinking, I don't know that everyone needs to quit drinking. I think some people can drink in moderation and be fine. But smoking, I don't know. I think it's probably just net negative for your health. And yeah, so um, let's see. How did I quit these things? So I've wanted to quit nicotine for years. I think no one who's smoking nicotine wants to be a nicotine addict. I don't think, right? Does anyone want to be addicted to nicotine? I don't think anyone wants to be addicted to anything, but you just become addicted to these things and then you rely on them for, I don't know, self-soothing or whatever. So, yeah, I told myself I was going to quit. I told my ex-boyfriend I was going to quit. And then finally, my current boyfriend, he had enough of it, of me, that I was on nicotine, that he just, and I'm not recommending you do this, but I also kind of am. If you have a loved one that would be willing to literally physically take away your nicotine from you and also potentially watch you to make sure you don't find some sneaky way to access nicotine, because nicotine is so readily accessible. If you just go to the gas station or whatever, you can probably access nicotine, or you can definitely access nicotine. Um, so you can be a sly little bastard and find ways to get around it. But my boyfriend literally followed me around all day long for a few days, watching, making sure that I didn't go to the gas station, watching me in the bathroom, making sure I didn't hide vapes in the bathroom. Um, Basically just making sure I didn't get any nicotine. And I was a fucking nightmare during those days. I think that the withdrawals are the worst days 1, 2, 3. um Days 4 and on, I think it gradually gets better and better. And then once if you manage to make it to days 3 or 4, just don't, like, to me, I knew how hard it was to get past the first few days where I was like, I don't want to restart the cycle again and go through the withdrawals like that again. So after I made it to like day 4, I was kind of like, just never touch it again. I never want to feel these withdrawal symptoms, and I do want to quit nicotine. So anyway, I think you basically just need someone to forcibly make sure that you don't vape or smoke cigarettes for 3 to 4 days, and then I think you're kind of good. You're over the hump. I also highly recommend this book called Easy Way to Quit Smoking, Alan Carr. A lot of recommended that book to me. And I am someone who's like pretty reluctant. Like people were telling me, I read this book and I immediately started quit smoking, never went back. And I think I'm reluctant to believe in like easy, quick fixes like that. But I do think that the thing about the book is it just helps you reframe how how you think about nicotine and how you think about smoking, to where you actually feel kind of like grossed out at the prospect of smoking by the end of it. So did I put the book down and like immediately quit nicotine? No, I read the book and I definitely continued smoking for a while. But having read the book and then going then into a period of forced cold turkey was extremely helpful, because I was able to mentally talk myself through a lot of the withdrawal symptoms. And yeah, it made me feel more mentally tough. So I'd recommend reading the book. Try just not smoke after you finish the book. Like that works for some people. But if you end up going back to it, you really need to like try a real cold turkey period, and hopefully like having read the book helps you mentally get through the cold turkey period. And then after day 4, I really think it's not that hard to just never smoke again. I have not touched it. Every once I don't have cravings for it at all. Like physical cravings I think disappear within the first like week or two. Like your body completely rids itself of nicotine within the first like it might be days, maybe a week, I forget. But um I feel like it became so habitual for me that like every once in a while I actually have dreams that I love tea, and then I feel all panicked and guilty, and then I wake up, I don't know away, but just saying. Maybe it doesn't matter. But if any of you have quit nicotine or drinking, or yeah, drinking or smoking, please leave it down below in the comments. And maybe you guys can find each other. Like I am happy to keep doing videos like this and just like try to help people through this, because I actually think it would bring my life a lot of value and purpose if I knew that I helped anyone quit nicotine, because I actually think that that is a positive life step for anyone. And I think it opens up a lot of doors and opportunities for people, especially as a woman who wants children one day. I knew mentally, like, if I don't quit smoking, I'm not going to be able to healthily carry a child and have a kid. Like, it would have literally held me back from my biggest dream in life, which is to one day have a kid. So, if I can help anyone quit smoking nicotine, it would actually make my life feel very meaningful. And I think would be very fulfilling to know that I helped people quit a really bad, hard, sticky habit like that. Quitting really doesn't have to be so hard. And again, I highly recommend the book Easy Way to Quit Smoking by Alan Carr. Just Google it. And then trying cold turkey. I don't think that the route of just saying, like, for such a long time, I was just telling myself, I'll just gradually taper off of nicotine. And I'd be proud of myself, where I was like, oh, I only smoked 1 cartridge today instead of like the 2 or 3 I usually smoke. See, I'm on my way to like quitting nicotine. But like, I don't think that ever works. That you're just always going to be, I don't know, you end up having a stressful day and then you end up smoking 2 packs again. Pattern. I don't know. So for me personally, that's how I did it. And I'm probably going to keep posting content about this, because I want people to know how far I've gotten, and that if I can do it, then they can do it. And I want to help people quit. So, yeah, if you're trying to quit, find each other down below in the comments. This sounds really fucking gay. I'm not like trying to like start a fucking like course or sell you anything. I'm just saying like it might be helpful to like talk to other people who are in the process of quitting or who have quit. Maybe it's kind of like Alcoholics Anonymous, where you're like, you find like a sponsor. So maybe if you find someone else who has already quit, maybe that could be helpful. I don't know. I've never done Alcoholics Anonymous. I don't think I was ever an actual alcoholic. I guess on the drinking stuff that I'm trying to quit, I do think that like drinking obviously makes me way more emotional, and like it obviously impairs your judgment. So I guess the main thing is that I definitely pick fights, not like physical fights, but like I'll just be kind of a cunt to my boyfriend when I'm really drunk sometimes. So I wanted to stop doing that. So yeah, I'm not drinking right now. Maybe I'll have one thing I will say is, if I go to like Napa or like wine country or go on a fucking wine tour, I will have sips of wine. I'm not going to tell myself like but just overall, just like going out and drinking and being drunk, I'm not doing that for the time being. Will again, maybe I'll get drunk again one, but and also I'm gonna have sips of wine if I go to a fucking wine tour. So don't get on my nuts if I ever post in Napa or something. But yeah, I'm trying to just do better and be better. I would also like to document the fact that last year I did one of those like health blood panels that checks your biological age. And this was before I quit smoking or drinking. Before I quit smoking or drinking, in my, I think I was 30, 31, when I took this test, I was a chain smoker, multiple packs a day, every day, drinking every couple of days heavily. My biological age was 21 years old, or maybe I was 20 something years old. It was like 20.3 or something. It was over 10 years below my current actual age. So, first of all, maybe those tests are fucking retarded bullshit. But I also just like, okay, now that I'm actually quitting smoking and drinking, I'm trying to be a little healthier. Am I gonna age backwards? Am I gonna be fucking Benjamin Buttoning? Like, I am really curious as to what's gonna happen to my biological age. So I'll update you. Not that anyone really cares, but I'm gonna update you. So last time I was 20 years old, 21 years old, and next time maybe I'll be underage. Maybe I'll be barely legal. Anyway, that is all. This was just a quick little update on my non-drinking, non-smoking journey, and I'm probably gonna do more of these. Not that anyone cares, and they probably don't even do that well for Twitter engagement. But if this message helps anyone quit vaping, smoking, zinning, blacking out, that'd be awesome. Maybe also do less hard drugs. I used to do a lot of ecstasy and I don't do that anymore. I don't really do coke anymore. I don't even like, I never liked coke. Does anyone like, why do people like coke? I really don't like coke. I don't like weed either. I don't react well to it. The only drug I think I actually enjoy and I think is natural enough and I don't do regularly, but I'm open to doing is shrooms. I love mushrooms. Mushrooms are the best drug ever. So I don't know why I'm saying this. I don't want to like shill shrooms. But uh anyway, feel free to leave comments. I'll read them later. I don't know. This feels really gay. So I'm gonna end the stream. I love you. Bye. Thanks for joining my stupid stream.